The movie we'll be covering today is something for the movie buffs. They clearly wouldn't want to miss this one. So let's talk about this movie. The name of the movie is Sebastian. It's a 2024 international co-production film written and directed by Mikko Mäkelä. The film stars Ruaridh Mollica as Max, Hiftu Quasem as Amna, Ingvar Sturluson as Daniel, Jonathan Hyde as Nicholas, Laura Rossi as Claudia, Leon Best as Dion, David Nealist as Peter, Pedro Minas as Oliver, Laura Keith as Joan, Dylan Brady as Joel, Akbar Kuthra as Samir, and Marcus McLeod as Stuart. Sebastian is primarily a drama film. It was released on August 2nd, 2024, and it has a runtime of 1 hour and 50 minutes. The movie revolves around Max, played by Ruaridh Mollica, who is a 25-year-old aspiring novelist based in London and paying his dues working at a literary magazine. Frustrated by his ambitions and the pressures to succeed so he can get the limelight, Max begins moonlighting as a sex worker with the alias Sebastian, secretly meeting men via an escorting platform and using his experience to fuel his stories. What begins as a few furtive meetings soon becomes a hidden nocturnal life, and the debut novel that he has been longing to write finally seems within reach. Finding himself more comfortable as Sebastian than expected, yet determined to keep his exploits a secret, Max increasingly struggles to remain in control of a delicately balanced double life as he confronts conflicting feelings of ecstasy, shame, and exhilarating liberation. Max has to reckon with whether Sebastian is merely a writer's tool to achieve firsthand authenticity or whether something more is at stake. Max is like many young writers, ambitious, smart, very passionate about their interests when they talk about them, and a bit cocky. He's known to accidentally alienate friends and colleagues with harsh words, and he thinks he knows better than his editors. However, unlike most reasonable writers, he'll stop at nothing to find inspiration, even if it puts him in harm's way. On his quest for the best-selling debut novel, Max takes on the persona and name of Sebastian, which also gives his film its title. To go undercover as a sex worker in search of stories to tell, he learns the new digital sex work landscape, meets clients of all kinds, and moves swiftly from one's bed to another's couch, typing away about the encounters once he's back in the safety of his computer. But his muse comes with the very real dangers of sexual assault and abuse, especially if any of his clients were to learn the truth about what Sebastian is doing in their home. At the same time, the 25-year-old writer is facing off against the notions of the publishing industry, requests to be more active on social media, and transitioning himself into becoming a celebrated author with the pressure that his work will live up to expectation. Write what you know, as the saying goes. So if you don't know it, do the research. By dip, Max makes his way as a freelance writer, turning in half-hearted features for a culture magazine. He tinkers away at short stories and idolizes Bret Easton Ellis, whose own reputation for queer autofiction is an acknowledged influence on Sebastian. The author is given special thanks in the credits. Max wants to have a book published, and he's figured out a subject for our times: internet-facilitated sex work. Mac keeps an active profile on Dreamy Guys, a website where men can swipe on each other's profiles and offer payment for hookups. Each night out, Max eagerly retreats home to his laptop, incorporating the private interaction into his prose. The film follows him into his memories, with brief, jittering flashbacks that signal his recall of tactical details and moments of vulnerability. Written and directed by Mikko Mäkelä, Sebastian serves as a warning about the dangers of excessive ambition. From the beginning, Max, the main character, talks openly about his big ambitions and shows a strong desire to advance, even though he's missing deadlines while chasing more fascinating projects. It's almost hard to watch how desperately he wants to succeed before he gets too old. At one point, he compares himself to his idol and woefully realizes he's already older than Bret Easton Ellis when he first became famous. Ruaridh Mollica, who plays both Max and Sebastian, gives a detailed performance, showing both the young writer's fears and his confidence. He portrays the character with sympathy, even during his most difficult moment. Mollica's scenes with Jonathan Hyde, who plays an older client seeking companionship, are especially touching and offer a contrast to the film's harsher scene. But despite the film's confident naturalism, it seems less intimate as it goes on, with Max somehow growing more distant and typical as he becomes more comfortable in his skin. Just like his complicated hero, Mäkelä can also be hard to understand because of his complexities. While trying to avoid the cliches of a tragic queer story, which Max even mentions in a tense meeting with his publisher, the film ends up falling into some of its familiar patterns, especially during the difficult parts of Max's adventures. The main character seems very isolated, alone, trapped in his thoughts, and keeps everyone, including the audience, at a distance. When he's alone, he's at his most vulnerable and sometimes cries in intervals. But it's not clear why. Is he regretting his pursuit of success? Or the emotional cost of sex work? It's also uncertain why Max chose sex work to support his book, though it fits his ambitious nature. And cinematographer Ika Salminen used a dark color scheme influenced by the fluorescent lights of modern buildings and hotels, with occasional warmth from a client's home or the neon lights of clubs. It seems like the setting sets the mood for what's to come, and when things go south, it feels like a betrayal and a loss of safety. The lack of security, highlighted by the harsh reality of the situation in his life. Mäkelä devotes his attention to his protagonist's emotional experiences. With that comes a focus on sex scene. Sebastian reins this explicit material into artfulness, often showing just one or two moments instead of the full arc of a hookup. Early sequences are focused on the most athletic encounters, with Max reaching a furious tempo as he brings screaming men to climax. Despite his anxieties and fears, Max derives a great deal of sexual pleasure from these meetups. What's more, so do his partners. The film has received a decent score of 72% on the review aggregator website Rotten Tomatoes, 7 out of 10 on IMDb, and 8 out of 10 on Screen Rant, which clearly shows how the audience and critics took it. And any fan of the drama genre would most definitely find this film intense. And that's it, folks. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel to watch the latest and exclusive movie reviews. If you have any requests, thoughts, or recommendations for movie reviews, just drop them below in the comments section. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.